with you. I think that the tankier picks in the jungle alongside the Ivern have really been the secret sauce for a lot of the success that we have seen. Worth noting, Rest is in the roster here for the first game, as he usually is here for CFO. He loves to go for the Cassante. We'll see if they want to just blind that here on blue or if they're going to wait a little bit for it.
Yeah, he's also had a really, really good Rumble game. He had the really good Jace game, so definitely some very versatile stuff. And there's one of the ones we just mentioned. He had that really good Rumble game, so they're going to slap that one back down. Let's take a look here at the answer from KC. Since they themselves banned the Vi out, already looking at other possible AD junglers to steal away. Since CFO started with the Rumble, you think that they're going to also look for AD jungles.
Yeah.
Definitely the other role taking a lot of hits here is the AD carry role. So Varus is still up, and there you go. Yeah, instantly, because the Kalista and Ezreal being banned, right down the priority list here.
Okay, we'll lock in the Varus for KC first and foremost, giving Kalista the power of that champion that's just often so contested, so powerful. You can get such a dominant lane if you end up wanting to draft for that. He's just got so much potential with everything that he can bring to the table. I'm curious, are they going to try to pick an early response here to the Rumble? Nope, they're not too worried about that. Instead, just want to go with a power pick of their own here in the Sejuani. Again, this is what you were talking about. Yep. This is the type of stuff that Yike has had his glow up on. I'd like to see this for KC.
Exactly. I think a lot of the KC fans will be very, very happy with this. He's had some of his best games. Even in the series they lost, his Sejuani game was definitely his best. So this is a classic though for Junja as well. The Xin Zhao with Conqueror into a Sejuani definitely feels nice. It is that AD jungle that we were looking for. It is a fighter jungle. He is definitely the point man for so many of the skirmishes that CFO do try and go for early on. So Hongq definitely gonna have a lot of options for him open, so we have to wonder, are you going to go AD carry here or drop it for the Azir? And they do drop it for the Azir. The reason I mention that is because the Azir has been incredibly high profile for him. He has performed so well on it, this 17-year-old on the international stage, and so they prioritize him getting the Azir and getting that comfort, and they're allowing Doggo to just soak some more AD carry bans and drop his pick to the second half.
And KC is going to respond to that Azir with the Yone picked up here for Vladdy. They want to make sure that that pool doesn't get pinched any further. If you're going to be going up against one of Hongq,
a good defensive ban there because they know Kaiwing's going to go a melee engage support, so you don't want to have to pay into a Renata alongside the Varus. That would just be such a painful lane.
So, okay, it's immediately going to be the Leona locked in for KC. That means that we are going to see the last pick of the draft there for Kana, for the counter pick for top lane.
Yeah. And a lot of times you're like, oh, do you want to pick Leona if Brom's still up? But you know that Kaiwing wants to play primary engage, not like a secondary like Brom or something, which doesn't have great initiation. So definitely a good pick there as well. All right, we're getting the Sivir.
Doggo on the Sivir, some hyper carry potential. Between this and the Azir, the damage scaling potential and team fighting power of what CFO has brought to the table in this first draft is very, very scary. Yeah. But their front line doesn't look particularly stable or strong. Xin Zhao is only durable while his ulti is up. Rumble is more of a fighter. He's not a direct meatball. I want to see if we can get some real tankiness here out of Kaiwing, and there it is. There's the Alistar.
Yeah, that's the Alistar I mentioned. He has been so good with Alistar. They have used it very frequently this tournament, almost at least once every single match that they've had, and it does serve a lot of roles. You know, Alistar is so versatile because he can be your initiation, but also some peel. The Sivir, the idea is that you can use the spell shield when you're facing all of this dive that is coming from KC, but also really helps to have a versatile bodyguard like Alistar that can potentially, peel multiple, divers that are coming your direction. And there we go. In the end, Flowers all comes back to the Jace for Kana.
Okay.
Always comes back. I have to say, Junja has been so consistently good, incredibly impressive in a tournament where the majority of junglers have not been consistent. I would say every other jungler has had bad games and definitely not been consistent. Junja constantly has delivered. It's why he really does run that region. Let's see about the level 1. Doesn't look to be too spicy here, though we did have a double sweeper start for KC, which I'm eyeballing. Yike himself also starting the sweeper.
All right, so as we start off with a mostly uneventful level 1, I got a couple of fun doggo facts for you, Kobe. Going back to the first series that these two teams had against one another, Doggo got first blood in both games. Big reason why is, of course, that Junja pressure we were talking about. But after getting first blood in those games, he would go on to not die a single time in the entire series. That is a big reason why that series felt as one-sided as it did, and I feel like Doggo has got to have a target on his back from the KC side. They know that this guy is a threat, they know that this guy is a problem, and they know they have to have better.
As far as the matchups in this series, you know, we've talked at end on Junjia. He has just been exceptional for them, and...
Wow, Targamas going in real far there. Immediately as he hits level 2, goes for the flash Zenith Blade, but it's so close to the enemy turret that he can't keep going with the rest of that. So Doggo and Kaiwing still going to be fine. It does cost the cleanse from Doggo, but I honestly think they're happy with that trade.
Yeah. I think so. Let's see. Hex Flash out of the brush constantly, though, from Targamas. They'll still be able to put a lot of threat here. The Alistar Sivir, definitely not very strong super early on, so...
He is such a playmaker.
Yeah, he really is. And remember, even their first series of the tournament versus TL, he did have a good game, and it was the middle game on Sejuani as well. So let's take a look at it, because he also has some nice shallow wards to work with. Tribrush on bottom side already warded up for KC. The Raptors already warded up for KC as well, and he's going to come for a lane gank here. Targamas is going to be the one to look for it, as waiting in the shadows. Both junglers here, though.
Yep, everybody's ready to party. Kaiwing flashing forward so he can get the headbutt back on Targamas, who already flashed earlier. Remember that. First blood, 3 out of 3 games to Doggo.
Junglers matching for the bot lane as well. Junja's there trailing through the brush. Kaiwing again on his Alistar. He goes for the flash. He goes.
Now all hanging out in mid lane for the party. Kana gonna rotate down here too, though. That's gonna make it a 4v3, but Vladdy now has to snap back to the Soul Unbound as Doggo's ready to join up with the rest of the team. Yike and Targamas getting away. Boomerang Blade doing a good job, getting multiple hits there across multiple targets. So even though the fourth man arrived first for the side of KC, it was CFO with that killer instinct. Void Grub stolen away, though, by an accelerated shock blast. Nice job to Khan on that one.
That is huge, because KC were going to get a turret plate on bottom side into the hands of Kalist as payment, but CFO don't even get all 3, so they're not even going to get credit towards a Feats of Warfare objective there. And KC, yeah, they get their full turret plate here for Kalist, plus they have started the Dragon, although Junja is kind of rotating over.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to finish this out without having
a
whole lot of trouble. Yeah, Kalist is going to rotate up to it. That'll provide plenty of damage to get this finished before anybody on the other side can really make a meaningful punish. So nice sequence there for KC with the plate, Drake, and single grub for just the 2 grubs. Secure plays. So this second pack of grubs, they are going to be in position. Since the Azir used the teleport to bottom lane, though, and Vladdy did not, it is Vladdy's teleport advantage. So the Yone gets to push on bottom and still gets to think about, hey, do we have a actual good setup here? Should I just split push and go for a turret plate myself, or do you want me to teleport up and actually fight it? Currently, the grubs are getting melted, but positioning for KC does look like they're going to use their teleport advantage. Oh, 2 health! That he thought it had one more tick with the pet to bring it below the 900 threshold, but it ends up being 2 grubs over to the side of KC there. Grubs are going to settle on a 3-3 split.
And that timer there is them. They're for sure backing off CFO, that is, because of the teleport disadvantage that we talk about, but trying to just barely squeeze out the extra grub would have been quite big to get to the 4 so that you can get the extra Void, who, by the way, finished the Blade of the Rune King here on Yone, which turns Yone into a completely different beast, much more aggressive. Wait, Rest does have his teleport, but yeah, I don't think they should use it. I think you should just cede this to KC. KC have much better positioning.
Seems that way. Vladdy in some danger, though. Hongq going in. Tries to step in front of the Fate Seal to make it so Vladdy can't get back away to the safety of the turret in time. But Vladdy can clear that gap. Junja throws out the wind, becomes lightning. But now he's in danger. Yike with a nice engage. Kana providing the follow-up damage, and Junja's in serious danger. Flashes over the wall to stay alive. KC comes out on top as they secure the objective.
Yeah, nicely done. The setup really nice here for KC. You can see the vision control all the way from mid lane down to bottom lane. Targa and Yike there very early on. Vladdy's teleport used on his power spike. Just, you check all the boxes. Tower actually ends up falling to that pressure though, because then the payment would be even bigger. And since CFO didn't give up anything big in that KC attempt to find them in jungle, they're happy to start off this Herald, and they're actually going to burn through it fairly quickly, but KC move over to contest. Kana's recalling now, so Kana will not show up. All you can do is try and poke steal, and CFO, they're able to get another victory here in the form of the Rift Herald. Immediately used mid so they can hard push Flowers. They're gonna just destroy this, and Kalist might have to worry about a dive afterwards too.
It's a long-range drive straight into the mid lane. They're going to race Kana for the bottom lane turret, but nope, there it is. First turret already claimed in mid. The response from KC in the bottom.
Yike, Targamas, and Vladdy were threatening to close in behind them, but they do not. They call it off, and they're just going to actually trade the outer tower down on bot side for Kana. We go for a little drive here. Escort Shelly up to the top side, Flowers.
Nah, just run it into the ditch and hop out. They're having a good time. They're playing by Grand Theft Auto rules here. You don't need to park the car.
Rotate it over to the ward to kill that ward quicker.
There you go.
Min-maxing the vision game here. Kaiwing. He scales incredibly well for AoE damage for these team fights. We've got 2-item power spike here. The Quick Blades was just finished for Doggo. So Doggo has accomplished the first goal here for Sivir. Gets a 2-item power spike, and they want to use it.
Okay, Targamas is going to be the target here from Junja as he immediately pops the Crescent Guard to make sure the counterattack from KC isn't too much, as Kaiwing and Targamas both chunk down to about half here. KC's going to start up the Drake immediately themselves. Everybody from both sides here ready to square off. Yike taking a little bit of damage there from the Electro Harpoons. Vladdy's going to be the one putting most of the work into the Drake. He knows he can do it pretty easily. Kaiwing and Targamas off to the side. Junja taking a lot of damage there with the Chains of Corruption. Don't really find a target. Targamas going to be in some trouble now as the Dragon is down to 3,000 HP. Vladdy thinking about maybe trying to make an entry into the fight somewhere. Goes over the wall there with the Fate Seal. Meanwhile, the fight up to the top half. The Infernal Drake is already secured by the side of KC. Doggo and the rest of CFO desperately trying to get something back because this has already gone KC's way so far. Rest of the wall thinking about trying to get somebody, but there's no way for him to find any of the health bars. KC's still on the run. They got Soul Point, they got the neutral objective feed, and they got everybody out.
They got everybody out. The towers can't run away, so CFO are at least going to make them pay with an outer tower's worth of gold. But that's number 3. This is a very quick 3 because I still have my eyes on Doggo. Like, this Sivir is quite rich. The Sivir is on pace. I want to see if CFO are going to be able to bring the full might of Shurima into this game and put it on display. Because currently, the Otacon is just getting yoinked by KC in exchange for tower gold for CFO.
Yeah, CFO's saying, all right, you want Otacon? Take him. We're going to go for everything up here on the top side instead. Tier 2 turret has been destroyed. Otacon's still going down ever so slowly, but it doesn't matter how slowly. Nobody from CFO is even in this neighborhood. They will have about a 2,500 gold lead over their opponents, but KC now will see if they can manage to secure anything meaningful out of this Voracious Otacon buff.
They want more time on it.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, they're going to maximize their time. Voracious Otacon secured. They've got the false life ready to go now. This means I want to see them force some kind of a play.
Yeah, 100%, because the decision-making from upside that we will invest into our Shurima scaling, and now it looks like they're going to claim some here from Kana.
Yep, Kana's in some trouble as Junja's just going to walk up to help rest. They'll knock this guy down. They'll get their 200 gold payday. That's the first false life removed. Technically not the second kill of the game. We're still at 1 kill, by the way. 21 minutes and 47 seconds into this game. As Hongyu immediately throws out the defensive Emperor's Divide in response to Yike and Vladdy going for the dive there, trying to force that. Also worth noting, look at the inventory of the Emperor, not going for the full second completed item, wants to make sure that he stops off and gets the Seeker's Arm Guard first, just so he has that outplay potential.
Yeah, get that Seeker's use first, as you say. Try and get to your other power spike quicker. Honestly, I do really like the decision-making from CFO. They're sticking to their game plan here, and the farm is working.
Has the TP, so should still be ready to go here. Doggo with a spell shield to block the piercing
shield
arrow.
bow.
Okay, shield bow. Again, both mid laners going for these defensive style options to give them the extra ability to survive when they go in for these fights. False lives expire now on KC. The timer of the Otacon just desynced with this upcoming dragon battle, as now both sides are squaring off. Vladdy's already started up the Drake. Yone can clear this so fast just on his own with the Blade of the Ruined King. CFO has limited time to step up. Junja jumps over the wall. The Dragon's still at about 4,000 HP. CFO make their way into the pit. Vladdy's going to be the target. Hongyu goes to the shuffle, finds Vladdy, but a ton of damage on Duress, and he's already down. KC taking the fight for now. Ton of damage back into Hongyu. He's very low. The Drake slain by Yike and KC as Targamas tries to get away, and Yike goes after Doggo with a flashback over the wall. KC getting it done. Kana misses the accelerated shock blast, but he'll chase down Doggo. It's Infernal Soul plus 3 kills for KC. Hongyu jumps right back towards Targamas, and he can't get the kill in time. Kaiwing won't clean it up. It'll be a clean ace plus a Dragon Soul for KC.
The Oysters! How you really close a game like this. You need that Baron pushing power for this KC comp, and they're going to do just that right now. Go into the river first, take out the vision so you can look for some picks and make the Oysters walk to you.
Junja in some danger now as Targamas goes in, leading the charge for the rest of KC. They pop the enemy jungler, and with Junja down, now there's a ton of danger. Nice shuffle comes out from Hongyu, but it's not nice enough. He tries to jump back over the wall. Kaiwing and Rest keep fighting. Doggo's on the very edge of the fight. He can't do any damage. And KC taking the momentum they earned in the bottom half of the map and running with it.
That's going to be Baron for sure for KC. They get their picks. All CFO can do is just try and rotate and push out some minion waves. They ping towards mid tower, but that's too close. Kalist doesn't want to let him have anything.
Doggo does not want anything to do with these guys. Not anymore, not now. Just has to walk away from it as KC now wearing purple, now up 3,000 gold.
Map, try and catch you by surprise, get a pick here and then turn around a comeback play, but KC have not allowed CFO to do that just yet.
Well, we had 1 kill and a 2,000 gold lead for CFO at about 23 minutes. Now, hold on. Targamas is the target for CFO, but that's not really a great target. That almost never works. Junja's going to be in some danger now, too. Press and guard, keeping him in a decent enough spot. Yike on the southern side of the fight as KC still feeling good, and Vladdy's coming in on the flank. Hongyu goes in, finds a shuffle on Kalist. They need backup to try to take him down. They got to get something back, but CFO are just too far behind. Every effort is not enough. They're trying to exit stage right, but it doesn't matter. Vladdy's made his way into the fight. Beautiful headbutt coming out from Kaiwing to avoid the fate sealed. Now Vladdy again, just barely hanging on. The burn keeps ticking, but once more, I'll say it again, Kobe, it's just not enough. KC are far enough ahead now that they don't get punished.
Woo, that was so close for Vladdy. He was definitely squeezing right there. Let's see about the reset, though. Right back out, because Elder is on the table. Sivir can push mid fairly quickly, but it's definitely dangerous with nobody around. He's got teleport wards behind him, too. At this point, the Oysters do have to worry about some of those flanks. Here we go on the setup, though. Yike is here immediately.
Okay, we'll see how CFO wants to approach it. Kaiwing in some serious danger. He's just going to die before anything else can happen. And now the same song's going to get sung for Hongyu with 2 dead. That's it. Fight's over before it starts. And KC's going to pick up an Elder Drake.
Unless there's a miracle steal here from CFO or Junja or something, this has got to be KC wrapping it up. Junja, Rest, and Doggo here. Do they have a miracle in them?
I don't know about water turning into wine on this one, Kobe. The only red in this water is about to be blood, and it'll be oyster blood if they go anywhere near this thing. Kalist and Yike have all the damage they need to secure the objective. The remaining 3 players of KC can zone everybody else away, and CFO's chances have all but evaporated now as KC has the Elder ready to push for the win.
Nice chunk of change here. Last outer on bottom side, picked up.
Q's got to try to get away. Has to throw out the shovel immediately as Targamas engages on him there. The 20 seconds left in the Elderman, any sort of follow-up would have been able to take the Azir down. Vladdy unafraid to jump forward here. Another Chains of Corruption flies out. This one wanted Doggo. Not going to find him. KC has 5 seconds left on the Elder. Next wave's not going to be here in time to use it.
I'd say Kaiwing just going to have to choose his moment and full send. Wait for the opening. Teleport back from Vladdy. Guardian Angel in inventory. Slowly but surely. I think next minion wave on mid lane that crashes, Kana's going to be able to do a lot of damage here. Looks like they rotate over, though. The waves are desynced, so CFO kind of look over. Still not going to be able to deal with Kana, though. The onslaught too powerful. 4,000 individual gold lead for him, by the way.
He is just completely head and shoulders above rest in this game. This Jace has really brought the firepower on this one. 6 KP out of the 9 that the team has total. And now with that mid lane inhibitor destroyed, with Junja down, barely hanging on. He gets caught by Yike, who jumps in with the second half of the flail. Can't quite get the kill. Rest tries to defend, but it ain't gonna matter. Kalist already has the unstoppable streak here as they knock down the CFO top laner. 5v4 for KC as they're on the victory march. That first Nexus turret is about to fall. The second is all the same. Vladdy jumps in. HongQ survives the stasis with only a second, but Doggo will die in his place. HongQ falls next, and KC will be the first team that's not a